ITIT. Trials and tribulations that inflict humans attempting to cope with everyday changes are reflected in many a tale. You may recall one such parable which involves someone doing something with someone else's cheese. In today's installment of the IT Improv Theater, our actors will portray yet another story of change that may sound oddly familiar to some of you. The scene is this: a group of people, we'll call them relationship directors, are meeting as they do every week. Little do they know that a young woman is about to approach them with some shocking news. Please sit back and enjoy the show.
Okay, well, thank you for coming to our meeting this morning. We have a guest that's going to be talking about a new technology, so I'm going to turn it over to you, Kathy.
Actually, I'm Ann Schaefer.
I'm sorry, you're Ann Schaefer.
I'm Ann Schaefer. And Christian, I was looking at your red shoes there, and I didn't have any red shoes to wear.
Those as props.
I guess Ann wears red shoes. Where is Ann anyways? There you are. So I am really excited about being here today. See this thing right here?
Is that mine?
Yes, it is.
What is that?
It's called an ultra book. As you can see, it's very thin and it doesn't weigh a lot. So this is something new, and I wanted to get it to you guys for you to understand what it's about and possibly have us experiment with it with the executive officers and VPs.
Executive officers and VPs?
Carl would call it a laplet.
Yeah,
That's what
laplet.
it's called. Laplet.
Back up, Ann. You said you're going to take this to the executive officers and VPs?
No, you're going to take it to the executive officer and VPs. Don't you think
been tested yet?
This is going to be cool?
We don't need to test it. We don't need to test it. Just give it to them.
It has not been tested except for a little bit.
What's there to test? It's a laptop.
Okay,
Laplet.
let me guess. This was Carl's idea?
It was actually a number of people's ideas that we thought maybe we should do things a little differently this time and not have it all figured out and a year later deliver it. We thought maybe we should try to deliver it here faster and get it out there and get people using it so we can learn from it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you give it to the EOs and VPs, everyone's going to want it. Then what are you going to do?
Well, we have 25 of them. So I'm going to need your help in figuring out what the priorities of that is. So we're not going to give it to everyone, but we're going to give it to the ones that we think have the most tolerance for working with something like this.
No, wait a second. Only 25. What about those folks that travel out in the field? They're going to want that too.
Well, this is a 64-bit model, and a 64-bit model doesn't run applications, and the agency folks are probably going to need to run applications.
I think we need a 65.
What's it good for then?
Well, it is, again, lightweight. It's kind of, I would say it's instead of an iPad, if you don't have one, this might be a good alternative for you.
But if those people go out in the field, our EOs go out in the field, and the field sees it, they're all going to want one. We don't have a way to support this. Everybody in the field is going to order one immediately. How are we going to take care of this?
Well, we're not going to let them order it.
How are you going to stop them? They get to buy their own.
Well, again, this is a consumer device. We haven't yet figured out how we're going to roll it out for the enterprise. And it hasn't been tested with all of the different apps that the field uses. So, we don't have the answers to all that. But again, the field's going to do what the field wants to do. But in the home office, isn't it kind of exciting that we can use this with our EOs and VPs?
I don't
Are
like
you
it.
going to be excited about having
I want
that?
answers. I want answers before we go.
We're going to need some talking points.
I don't understand why I need it.
I can see doing a pilot, but why start with our most important stakeholders?
The
Because
only reason you'd want it is for weight, right? Is that the only reason, for weight?
it doesn't even run any apps.
Doesn't run any app.
Was this Carl's idea? Let me just go back there.
I still need talking points.
Look, let's just put it out there. Well, there's going to be some executives that are going to be early adopters. Let's give it a try.
Don't you want to give it a try?
It doesn't really impact
And
my
I need
customers.
your
so I'm out.
help in talking points. I need your help. So I'm looking for you to help me. I'm just here with the opportunity to do things differently.
I think you need to come back once you have a plan and you figure out what you're gonna do with
Where's
this.
Tony in all this? I think we need Tony.
We need Tony.
Well, you know, it's your choice, but we are going to roll with it, and there's going to be a number of people in IS that are going to experiment with it. Some of our ITIT team is going to try it out. And so if you want to be part of this new way of thinking and doing or not, if that's really your choice. And by the way, one other advantage, according to Carl, is when you go through an airport security, you don't have to take it out of your luggage. Now,
So-
isn't that cool? So, org change. It's not easy, is it? So, after this presentation, I started getting phone calls and emails. This wasn't the reaction I was expecting. But we worked through it, and it turns out that there's a lot of delightful people out there. Delighted people out there, as I'm hearing more and more. There's been some bumps in the road, but again, a different way of thinking. Who would have thought? Something like this probably wouldn't have happened till next year had we tried to work out all the kinks of it. So, kind of, again, a different way to think.
Okay, let's,